The Foundation's top priority is protecting humanity from threats both natural and supernatural. But even we have to admit some things are best left unknown. That's why I always keep a few file samples locked away in my own personal vault. Files that are too insane, too unbelievable for the average person to comprehend. Files that, if leaked, would likely cause mass panic and global chaos. So when someone breaks into my office and steals one of my files, it's a big deal. Not just because the data contained within could be catastrophic if released, but because I know whoever did this means me harm. After all, there's only one reason to take a file from the Foundation: to use it as leverage. And the file that was taken, well, let us just say I haven't seen the person who took it since, and I want again. That's right. This is an old recording from the site director. What am I talking about? Well, the file that was taken, which I had hoped to one day soon forget, is file number Omniculous file, Coldspell-3088. So allow me to catch you up. Omniculous file, Coldspell-3088. Category: Paranormal Threat Level 2, Hostile. Status: Active. Overview: An unexplained phenomenon, known only as cold spell, has been silently moving through isolated urban areas during winter. It causes sudden, intense drops in temperature, affecting individuals who are otherwise in normal conditions. Victims are often found affected by extreme cold, without any logical explanation. It behaves like a ghost-like entity, invisible to human eyes, and leaves behind no visible signs of its presence, only an unnatural chill. Reported incidents. In December of 2004, while testing a new thermal satellite, Field Agent Lucas was observing a set of buildings in the northern USA. The satellite wasn't detecting anything unusual, but something caught his eye. He saw a person walking through an alley. In the next frame, that same person was registering as ice cold. Before he could report the anomaly, the signal vanished, and Lucas saw a new reading. The person was now outside the building, still frozen solid. When he reported this, a team was sent out to investigate. As the person hadn't moved, they assumed it was a simple case of exposure. But as they got closer, they noticed something off. The snow around the person's feet was completely untouched. There were no footprints, meaning the person had just fallen to the ground like that. After bringing the individual back to the facility for observation, it was discovered that the person was still alive, but in a state of hypothermia. The field agents had to warm him up slowly over several hours to bring him back to a stable condition. Whatever had happened to him, it wasn't natural. Nothing could freeze a person that fast. The next sighting of cold spell didn't come until 2006. This time the entity was spotted in the same region. A young person had gone missing. After several hours, their body was found nearby. The cold coming from them was so intense, it was almost like holding your hand above a flame. The victim's body showed signs of intense cold, but only in their chest. Everything below their waist was perfectly fine. This led researchers to believe that whatever cold spell was, it might be some kind of spirit, a ghost. But the final straw came in 2007. A man was found slumped over near a barrel filled with burning oil. At first glance, he looked like someone who had passed out due to drinking. However, when the fire team approached, they felt an intense cold radiating from the man. The oil barrel was easily 50 degrees Celsius, even hotter in the center. Yet the man was showing signs of exposure to temperatures far below freezing. With each incident, cold spell seemed to become more brazen. It was moving through people, leaving them forever changed. We tried setting up cameras in the area, but after 5 years of monitoring, we never got another positive result. But when the surveillance footage from those cameras was reviewed, a strange detail was picked up. On one of the tapes, you could see a woman walking along. She's wearing a red coat. She pauses, shivers, touches her arm, and then falls to the ground. Her legs buckle, her head lolls to the side, and she freezes mid-step. In the next frame, she's still there, but her coat is now black. Then she vanishes. When the server footage was reviewed, it became clear that whenever the entity was close, it caused a glitching effect in our cameras, and when the glitching occurred, the temperature would plummet. We don't know exactly what cold spell is, but we do know that it avoids detection when we're watching. Since 2012, we've placed cameras with thermal filters in suspected hotspots. But because it's so elusive, we haven't gotten much. But what we have seen is terrifying. On one of the tapes, you can see a man walking along. He's bundled up in a heavy jacket and scarf. His breath puffs out in front of him. In the next frame, he pauses and looks down at his feet. Then he reaches up to touch his chest. It's almost as if he can feel the coldness before it envelops him. In the next frame, he's still there, but he's hunched over. His body is shaking violently. In the next frame, the camera glitches and the man is gone. In his place is an unnatural chill. Another camera picked up a group of people walking down the street. 2 men and 2 women, all laughing and joking. They're passing by a park. In the next frame, the group pauses and the camera glitches. The people look back at the camera, but it's hard to make out their faces. Their bodies appear distorted and stretched out, like a funhouse mirror. Then they vanish. These clips were from different angles and different cameras, but they all share one thing in common: the distinct sound of wind blowing across a barren landscape. It's like a ghost wind, cold and unforgiving. But what is it? Is Coldspell a spirit? If so, why does it affect some people and not others? Why does it leave some people cold and others frozen solid? And finally, why does it seem to hide from us when we're watching? The truth is, we don't know. All we do know is that Coldspell is still out there. It may seem peaceful in appearance, but the entity remains potentially dangerous. Avoid suspected areas during cold seasons, especially alone. Who knows how many people have fallen victim to this cold-hearted monster? And that brings us back to the present day. My office is cold, despite the heater being on full blast. The window is open, despite there being no breeze outside. And somewhere in the corner I can hear the faint sound of wind blowing across a barren landscape. I think it's time I called in the cleanup crew. Oh, and be careful on your way out. It's cold tonight. This has been the official Omniculous account. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please don't forget to subscribe to our channel and check back every week for a new video. Thank you for watching and stay safe.